What's up with you guys? It's your boy Yaahn Hunter Jr. Logic Gang, we just got an update. We now have Dolby Spatial Audio functionality in 10.7 of Logic Pro. So we're gonna dig right into this. The first thing you do need to know before you get started is you will need to be on Big Sur. So if you're not on Big Sur, unfortunately, they have made that the requirement. So you will need to be on Big Sur first, and once you do so, you'll be able to unlock these new functions. Let's get right into it. We're gonna convert this session to a Dolby Atmos session. Come up here to mix, change it to Dolby Atmos, and we're gonna change this to Dolby Atmos, the spatial audio. Then this menu pops up, and you're gonna be converting it, and just select OK. Then the next thing you wanna do is change your buffer size. Make sure your buffer size is at 512. This is the calibrated buffer size for this experience, or you can go higher to 1024. Now we have the new Atmos plugin here on the master, and it gives you this, and we can pull up the mixer by hitting X. So it's set by default to 7.1.4. If you have on headphones, and you will need headphones for this video, by the way, go ahead and change this to binaural. Now we will be able to monitor this and be able to do some spatial panning. Making movies, I ride like Suzuki. Rappers bazooki, act like they knew me, find clues like they Scooby. You rappers is rude. So I can already hear the difference already. It sounds like everything is in a room, almost like a small club room. If you got on headphones, check this out. Let's do another listening example really quick. Rookie, all men rookies. We ain't in Jersey, don't give me no snooky. Talking these lies, mine on the prize. Tired of standards, they... You know, it just sounds like it's in a tight room. So if you want it to sound more like what you're familiar with, then you're going to have to bring these objects closer to your ears. So with that in mind, now let's start messing with the 3D pan. So let's start with my man's lead vocal. So what you want to do is right click on this binaural pan and change this to 3D object panner. And then you can just double click that. And now you have this new object panner icon that pops up. We're also going to have our Atmos plugin alongside it so we can see how many objects we have going. Now let's listen to this lead vocal as we pan this around. You're going to need headphones for this.
That is no lie. That's Vitalina. Don't change your demeanor. Hotter than summer inside with the heater. Ain't driving no Beamer. Don't live by your meters. Don't call me a preacher. I'll bust to your speakers like, come for the top. I don't need reparation.
All right, so that's going around. Now let's bring this closer to our ears.
And your career look with no hesitation. I'm chilling with Hunter. We making a statement. Reply automatic. I've been on vacation.
So now by doing this, it sounds like it's closer and more familiar, closer to the stem. And this just gives you options now to be able to determine what do you want closer in the spectrum and what do you want further away. So I'm going to select the sweet spot for this. Let's just leave this right here.
Making movies, studio, choosing.
So now I'm going to grab his delay. Let's move this delay maybe further behind us.
Oh, don't trust out loosely. Bless. Too stressed.
All right, so now let's play around with the sample, and I want you guys to be able to feel how this sample is moving in this 3D spectrum. Now that's at ear level. So now let's bring the ear level up. One more time. So to me, this sounds like it is going up above my head. You sort of have to close your eyes and listen to this to be able to really feel it, because sometimes your eyes can lie to you and make you feel like it's not doing what it's doing, but it actually is. So you can also increase the size. So you can see this increase and decrease. So let's bump this up. So let's get into the final segment of this. Like once you panned everything in the 3D spectrum, what do you do now? So let's go into the export process and let's talk about that. If you have a limiter or compression or anything going on, it will only affect the binaural panning, just the general binaural panning, surround panning, shall I say. If you want compression, let's say on the sample, which is set up as the 3D object panner, then you're going to need to put compression on this channel strip. So whatever you have as objects will not be compressed in the master chain. So that's another adjustment. So with all that in mind now, we can go ahead and export this as a spatial audio project. And how you do that is you come up here to File, then you go to Export, and then you're going to export project as a ADM BWF file. And once you do so, it'll save it as a .wav file, but it contains the metadata in it for all of your spatial automation, and all of that stuff is all embedded in that file. And that file is going to be uploaded for iTunes, Apple Music, and all that for Dolby Atmos. Now you want to make sure that you're not going above -18 love. So I would recommend using the loudness meter and start this and listen to your song all the way through and not peak above -18 love. So what I'm going to do is turn all this stuff down. So that's just a brief example, but listen through the entire song and make sure that you're not peaking above -18 loves. So that's pretty much the Dolby Atmos experience in the new 10.7 update of Logic Pro. I hope you guys got some value out of this. If you did, give your boy a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on those bell notifications. That's it for me, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.